Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online TV where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. Yes, this is me, Kemi Akiyode-Adebayo, aka Mama K. In today's program, we're going to be featuring the celebration of Youth Day with a bake off by the Nosh for Josh Foundation Be My Voice campaign. And yes, I was one of the MCs on that day, and it was amazing. Nosh for Josh promotes awareness in autism and a lot of other disability as well. And it is founded by Josh and supported by his mom and dad, Sandy and Mark. And yeah, enjoy. Waiting for the children to come in. What is your day about?
So the fight was against the Bantu education during 1976. So the kids of that time were protesting and yeah.
That's it. Very, very well done. Thank you. Yes, it was against Bantu education, and we had young kids who were fighting for their rights at that time. Unfortunately, it was a sad time. Some got injured, some got killed, and yes, that's part of why we're celebrating Youth Day. Today's event is by Nosh for Josh. Does anybody know about Nosh for Josh? No? Okay. Oh, somebody does. Okay. Okay, let me see. Tell me, young man. What's your name first?
Yusuf.
Yusuf. How old are you, Yusuf?
8 years old.
8 years old. So do you know what Nosh for Josh is about?
Yes, it's about helping people.
Yeah, that's good enough. Helping people. Wow. Yes, Nosh for Josh is about helping people, and we will find out more from the founder and director later on. But thank you, Yusuf. And this grandma, mom, and who?
I'm his mom.
Yeah, the mom. Okay. I just need to go through all that. Mom, neighbor, auntie, and everything. So for you, today is Youth Day. Yes, we've got drinks being served and, food being served, generously supplied by the city of Cape Town and our other partners, here today. So, Mom, why are you here today?
Okay, I'm here because I was invited. This is actually a follow-up because while we were at the arts camp, I think it was last night, and we really had a good time, and we're just here to hear about the development of the farm, because we want to be involved in this organization called Nosh for Josh.
Awesome, wow, that is good to hear. Especially my dear young brother, Councillor Rashid Adams, who is our host because we are on your premises today. Councillor?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mama Kay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, goeiemorgen, Molweni, and welcome to the Dalsy September Civic Centre. Welcome to Athlone, to those of you that travelled a bit far. And welcome, Mama. You said this was your first time, and I sincerely hope it's not going to be the last time that you're visiting us.
No, it's not going to be. I'm going to be coming back. The building is so beautiful. I'm going to take a walk around, to just see more of it. Thank you very much, Councillor.
Yeah, this is an iconic place. It's a phenomenal place, named after a phenomenal woman, and I think it's so appropriate that we're having such a phenomenal event at this venue. Thank you so much for everybody.
Right, thank you, Councillor. What we normally do with any event we do, we put God first, and that's why I started by asking you guys, did you see the cloud earlier on this morning? And I believe God is just wonderful and amazing. So we were going to have an imam pray, but unfortunately we don't have the imam here today. But we have Pastor Michael, who I will invite up to just come and say a short prayer for us, just to lead us in prayer. If you are Christian or Muslim or traditionalist or no faith, it's okay, just indulge us for now. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you. If you don't mind, can we all just stand to our feet and then we just commit today's proceedings in prayer before God. Let's pray. Father, we are so grateful this morning just to come and acknowledge you as Lord and Savior of our lives. Also giving thanks unto you for making it possible for us to open our eyes today and to witness this beautiful day. I pray today, Father, that you will help us to always acknowledge your goodness and acknowledge your grace. I pray today, Father, for the proceedings of today, that you will bless it. We specifically pray for those to whom this program and day is directed towards, that you will bless them indeed in Jesus' name. Those who took the initiative to arrange this day, I pray your blessings upon them in Jesus' mighty name. And so, Father, we know without you we can do nothing. And so we commit this day into your care, and help us in what we do in word and in deed, that it will be to the glory and to the extension of your kingdom. In Jesus' mighty name, amen and amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. And I am blessed and honored to be here again to support a worthy cause like Nosh for Josh. I am with an organization called Boldwoods, and we work together with Nosh for Josh and a lot of other partners to try and do a lot in the community to address some of the issues that we have in the community. Before I invite the founder director for Nosh for Josh to come and tell us a little bit about why we're here, what Nosh for Josh is about, and what to expect, from the organization and what they need as well from the organization. I just want to acknowledge everybody here first who have traveled far and wide. I know we've got Americans in the building, we've got South Africans, we've got Namibians, we've got Zimbabweans, we've got Nigerians. So I want to acknowledge everybody in the building. Thank you for being here. Thank you. So without much further ado, why my dear brother, Councillor Young Man, I keep calling him Young Man as well. Doesn't he look young? So I will invite Madam Sandy. She's disappeared on me now. Oh, she's here. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, please. Yes. So we've got Sandy, Mark, and Josh, and they're going to come and share their story, tell us what today is about, and Sandy, Mark.
To go, wow.
Go for it.
So this is Joshua, everybody. We can clap hands. And Joshua is the founder for Nosh for Josh. And you all are the reason why this is happening today. Joshua is 15 years old, living with autism, and he is baking cookies. I always get emotional, but it's a happy emotional, because when you have a reality, when you have a vision, and the reality just kicks in like that, it's so amazing. I did not picture this today. So I am extremely, extremely happy, and I'm proud, and I'm grateful and blessed, because they say, count your blessings. And every person that's here today is such a blessing, because we are the voice. And when me and Joshua started with the cookies, he kept on asking, I want cookies. And I'm like, no, cookies is a mission, let's go to the shop. And he kept on telling me, I want cookies. And you know what he did? That recipe book of my belated mom, we're making the cookies. And I have my dearest, dearest friend, Buta Yusuf and his wife, which is my kitchen coordinators, that is supportive, that said, let's do this. And you know what? We came up with a name for these cookies. And it's called Be My Voice, One Cookie at a Time. So when you are glazing these cookies today, you will be the voice for your child, for your adult disability child or special needs, for anybody that's out there. Our need and our vision is a kitchen, a premises, so our children, and I'm calling it our children, my child is your child, can come out and bake. And we need love and we need support, because there's such a big stigma when it comes to autism and disabilities. And employment is another issue. So Nosh for Josh is out there, Be My Voice is out there, we need the support and we need the guidance. And everybody that came out today, wow. I mean, I have Mark Lottering in the house. I have Chef Charmaine from Maker's Landing, Master Chef here. I have Master Chef Siphokazi. I have parent coach, life coach Jacqueline Tamri. I have Blue Ribbon. I have City of Cape Town. I mean, what more can you ask for with all the support? So everybody, thank you so much, and enjoy the fun. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. A round of applause again for Madam Sandy. A round of applause for Councillor.
Thank you very much, Mama. I feel extremely honoured that we are able to sit here today for such an awesome event. It's a special event, and I could have gone to so many other events, but when Sandy spoke to me and I said I'm going to dedicate my time to this event, because Youth Day, yes, is important to each and every one of us. It has historical and cultural value because of the sacrifices that have been made. But if one looks at where we are right now, have we done enough? And unfortunately, we find ourselves that when special occasions like public holidays are commemorated or celebrated, the person with special needs is often excluded. And we need to start getting to a point where the barriers are being broken, that we do not divide ourselves because there's somebody that has a special need and treat that person differently. There should be one normality, because we cannot be living in a normal society when we ourselves have not adapted or adopted that vision ourselves. So my focus and my attention, Sandy, thank you for bringing it to me, making me realize this, is I'm going to pay special attention to ensure that here at the City of Cape Town, within this ward of the Cape Town, Ward 49, we are going to make sure that the needs of our special people are also taken into account, that we make sure that the needs of our special people are also accounted for, because you know, we cannot allow our children to be growing up with prejudice. We cannot allow our children to grow up that there's a distinction. And it starts off at home. And so we're going to have to work together and ensure that that message reaches each and every home. That parents can bring their children to make an understanding that yes, a child that is differently able is no different to your own child. Yes, thank you so much for that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you for doing our homework. We really appreciate you. Thank you. So, I want to invite somebody special. I know you've heard about him already. We already have a lot of very special people in here. And you are all VVVIP.
I'll give you an example. I'm doing a show at the moment, and I open the show by saying what young people are doing now in the world, and you know people in your family, they're having babies, but they have a gender reveal party. And now we say, the gender reveal party, and I said to my niece, what's the gender reveal? She said, no, Uncle Mark, the gender reveal party, you don't know what gender your baby is, but only your friends know. Then they come to your house and they're going to surprise you. So if you're having a boy baby, then they buy blue confetti and they put it in a balloon. No more jetty balloon, no funny confetti. And they'll say, I will give us a boy. And they say, if you're having a girl baby, then they have pink confetti in the balloon. Now splatter in the balloon, funny pink confetti. And I said, and what if the baby's like me? Because I got confetti and my niece said to me, no, but Uncle Bob, how will the gynae know? How will the doctor know that the baby's going to be like you? I said, a Dr. Salvik, because every other fetus is just lying there normally. Money itching and that's why I love celebrating difference. And that's why I was drawn to Josh's email, you know, talking about autism. And the amazing thing is, not only is Josh different, but he is determined to use his difference to make a difference. And that is what we should be doing. And that's what I'm here to celebrate today, using our differences to make a difference. Having said that, I'm also here for the cake. I brought my Tupperware along, and I brought my foil along, and I also believe there's a chef here who's into curry. That's what I read about. Where's our chef who's into curry? Darling, I read that you are into curry. I'm big on curry, so I'm going to be hanging in your corner as well. So, I mean, you've heard everything that I've said before, right? I don't have to repeat myself. So I think if we can go away from here today, if it's the one thing that you do remember, after meeting Josh as well, you know, it's not just about celebrating difference, but taking that difference and making a difference in the world. And I honestly believe that we can all do that. And I want to echo what our program director said. You know, this business of VIP and VVIP when you go somewhere in the world. Do you know how I walk around from place to place? I don't care if I'm on a list or if I'm on a VIP list or not. Ek gee vir my uit. You know, because you've got one life to live, my friends. You have one life to live, and don't allow people to put you in boxes. And just when you think you want to be put into a box and that you have limitations, remember Josh and what he's doing today. So I hope that you have an awesome day, and I think, you know, you have been thanked for being here already. So thank you very much, people, for being here, and yeah, I'm spreading and sending lots of love, and a big thank you, and can we have a massive round of applause for Josh for bringing us all together.
So I'm going to now invite another special person. We're all special, you know, today, and who is going to just share with us a few words as well, just to encourage us, you know, in terms of what today is about. And this is not about politics or, you know, so I don't want anybody feeling, oh, this is, okay, yeah, we've had Councillor and we're now going to have this person, you know, so it has nothing to do with politics. This is about, you know, people who have the heart for the people. So we've got in our midst our former mayor, Mayor Dan Plato, ex-mayor. So a round of applause for him.
Good morning. Good morning, Mark. Let me start off where he start off. Our way massacres. But I don't want to go further than that. I'm going to leave the massacres just as it is. Councillor Rashid Adams, I've seen him around. I don't know where he is right now, but all of you, good to see you. Sandy, thank you so much for the invitation. Your initiative, you know it, even when I was mayor, I support your initiative all the way. Such a very, very important initiative. But it's June 16, a very important day on government's calendar. And what makes it so important is that with the release of some of the unemployment stats by Stats SA, daunting figures, that our unemployment figure amongst the youth in the whole of South Africa is up to 40%. So it means that up to 40% of our country's youngsters under the age of 35 years old is unemployed. And on the radio, from Parow down here. It's on all the radio stations, the unemployment of the youth. It's an issue we as a nation cannot ignore. So my short message to you this morning, listening to that, is what must they eat? What is the clothes they wear? What is their future going to be like? Are they going to stay poverty-stricken? Are they going to stay disadvantaged? And the message is, one thing government are doing well, we invest in our educational system. Nelson Mandela, and you can Google his speeches. I've quite often listened to Tata Matiba's speeches and use some extracts out of those speeches. And he said, when he was asked once about poverty, about unemployment, about social ills, how are you going to get rid of all those social ills in this country? And he said, education, and education shall be the key to empowerment. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Our ex-mayor Dan Plato, thank you so much. I will echo as well, education, is very, 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 very key. Siphokazi, Chef Siphokazi. So, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Before I let you have a few words, with our audience and guests and special VVIP people here today. Why did you get involved in MasterChef? What was the drive for you?
Oh my goodness. I'm passionate about cooking. I never went to a cooking school. Grew up cooking as a young girl, back in the rural areas. I grew up cooking, so I've learned everything then. But then I was like, honestly, I worked as a domestic worker for 20 years, so that's where I've learned how to cook. Then I loved MasterChef. I was like, okay, this is it for me. I want to eat. I want to see if I can make it. So yeah, that was the drive for me. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to do something for myself.
Awesome. And I like the fact that you shared that short bit about the fact that you were a domestic worker before, because a lot of people will feel, oh, that's shameful, I don't know how people treat their domestic workers, here. But the fact that you're here and you share that, I'm hoping that will give hope to other people that, okay, yes, there's a season for everything. You served, you worked diligently,
yes.
And now you have your own show. Anyway, let you speak to us.
All right. Thank you, Mama. Good morning, everybody. My name is Siphokazi Mdlankomo. I grew up in the rural areas in the Eastern Cape where there is nothing, absolutely nothing, I was raised by a single mother with the help of my grandmother. I am the eldest. Unfortunately for me, I fell pregnant at the age of 19, but I had no choice but to leave my son with my mother and start looking for a job. I came to Cape Town, I think it was 26 years ago, and I could barely speak English. I couldn't speak a word of English, and I was scared. But I wanted to come to Cape Town and work for my son because nobody was working at home. So the only thing I had was, I didn't have education. I only got standard 10 back then, which is grade 12 now. So I was scared. So the only job I could get was being a domestic worker. But luckily for me, I got people who encouraged me to cook, people who loved me. And when I was still working as a domestic worker, I told myself, I said, you know what? This is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to be something in life. I'm not going to be the domestic worker for the rest of my life. Then, that's when I started watching TV. I started watching MasterChef. And I said, you know what? This is it. This is the ticket for me. This is the ticket for me to be something in life. And and I had the guts to enter MasterChef. Never mind, I've never traveled overseas, I've never eaten a lot of food. The only food I know what to eat is my traditional food. But you know what? I'm gonna enter that show. I'm gonna do what I love doing in that show. I'm not gonna pretend to be something else. I'm gonna be Siphokazi in that show. I'm gonna do what I know best. That's what I did in the show, and I became the runner-up of season 3, MasterChef South Africa. So what I'm trying to say in life, whatever you do, believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. I remember when I was in the show, at the back of my mind, I had that thing that, oh, I'm here. I'm here with people who are doctors, people who are lawyers, people who have names. Who am I? I'm just a domestic worker. But again, I said, you know what? I'm here. I'm here for a reason. And why I'm here to do what I love doing, is to cook. And I show them flames. That's what I did. So in whatever situation you are in, it's not the end of the world. And again, I didn't do it on my own. You have to ask for help. I had people that were helping me, even though I knew how to cook. But I would go and ask for help because nobody can do it on their own. Even the youngest billionaire, Kylie Jenner, she didn't do it on her own. She had her family that was helping her. So you can't do it on your own. Don't fool yourself and think, okay, no, I can do this on my own. No, you can't do it on your own. Ask for help for people who know how to. So now I've worked with lots of brands in South Africa, and they believed in me because I believed in myself first. That's one thing in life you must know. Believe in yourself so that the next person will believe in you. So as you can see that I'm short, everything I do is short and sweet. I'm not gonna be long. And thank you so much for being here, for sharing some words of encouragement for Josh. And thank you, Josh, for helping me. And thank you, everybody.
Chef Siphokazi, you should be really proud of yourself. Please, a round of applause for Chef Charmaine. And she's going to share a few words as well with you. So, before I go as well, before I leave you alone, what's special about Durban cuisine curry that everybody shouts at? Why is it different from Cape Town?
I actually have it in my notes.
Oh, you have it? Okay. I'll let you go.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Good morning, everyone. Hello. So today I'm going to tell you, my name is Charmaine. I was a part of the MasterChef South Africa, the last season that just aired now. I'm not a real chef. I'm just a TV chef. So I just want to explain to you my kind of journey for the last, maybe the last 2 years. I think a lot of people that don't know, whoever watched the show, will not know the story of Charme and how I got to where I got. So I was very fortunate that I was lucky to travel a lot because I worked as a corporate manager. So I traveled a lot for work, and I was in the hospitality industry. So I worked for companies like Sun International, for Piedmont, for Marriott, the last company I worked for them. But what I never planned on was 2020, COVID. So when COVID arrived, obviously the hotel industry collapsed. So I immediately got retrenched from my job. And I think for somebody that worked a lot, it's something unusual. You never expect to get retrenched from your job, and there's a pandemic, and you have, a little baby. There's a lot of things to think about. So for me, I think, like Siphokazi said, you have to believe in yourself. immediately I decided that I will start a business at home. So I decided to use what I know, and which is cooking, my home cooking. So I decided to cook Durban-inspired food for people of Cape Town who love Durban-inspired food. And I think it's the spices. The Durban food is different from Cape Town food. The spices are different. It's more spicier. So I decided to go that route. I started a brand for myself, which is Charne's Kitchen. And to be honest with you, I didn't really know where it will go. I just needed to do something, and I needed to do it at that time. So this was 2020, around about June, like literally 2 years ago. And what happened was, I was just pushing myself all the time. I decided to apply for a small business development program at the end of 2020. So my business was running for 5 months. I wouldn't say I was making a vast amount of money. It was ticking by. I applied for the incubator program at Makers Landing. And last year, 2021, I started the business program. And in May last year, I graduated from the program. And when I graduated, I already had a frozen range for my business, a frozen food. I had, a database of customers that I could supply to. So basically, COVID actually opened the door for me to start a new business. So as I was going on, I thought, okay, let me decide. MasterChef applications came on, and I thought, okay, let me apply for MasterChef South Africa. And I think after the interview phase, I ended up in MasterChef South Africa. I can tell you, it wasn't easy. It's very, very stressful. You're literally putting yourself in, a lot of cameras, a lot of people. I was very nervous. It's very, very nervous. But I managed to end on top 5 on the show. So again, it opened up a lot of doors. I now have a pod space in Makers Landing, so I have an eating space here. You can come there, you can have my food, you can have frozen food, you can have spices. So I think my message today is basically a message of hope. That there is something at the end of the, at the end of the rainbow. I think that if I can inspire anyone to do is you just have to push yourself all the time. And I just want to say thank you to Sandy for inviting me here to share my story, because I think I've literally told the story, and there's a lot more for the story to tell. I literally just given you, like bits and pieces, but my voice is not always like this. My voice also is gone. I literally tell a story to a lot of people. I've been on Cape Talk, I've been on KFM, and I like to tell the stories because I want people to know that, like literally, like COVID affected all of us, but there is an opportunity. You just have to believe in yourself. You can do this. It's possible. And I'm a success story. I still got lots to do, but I'm one of the success stories of COVID, that there is something you can do. And you can come visit me at Makers Landing. I'm just happy, I'm so happy to be here. I think also that what you guys are doing, you also getting awareness through food. And this is what we do. We're getting awareness for our stuff through food. And this is how I tell the story of my heritage through food. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Jacqueline Tamri, a round of applause for her, please.
So Kiki, ek is in my home ground now, in my home ground. I'm not going to be still here, I'm not going to stand here up on the stage. So hello everybody. I'm moving down because I want to come right here with you, you know what I'm saying? Come on, we got to keep it real, people. So ons moet het regtig hou. Ek soek daai seker dit. Julle moet my nou lekker kon help because kykie, ek wil begin met 'n ding. I want to say something to you this morning. The first classroom, die eerste klaskamer wat ek nog ooit in my lewe gehad het, was my ma se hart. Kom ek sê dit gou weer man. What am I saying to you now? The first classroom I ever had in my life was my mother's classroom. She wasn't there to teach me to brush my teeth. She wasn't there to show me how to make my first day at school. But I weet nogal, because ek like lekker vandag, no? Ek like together. They give me better boots. Fabulous. Right? So it was the mother's heart on me. It was the mothers' hearts in the community that cared for me. It was the mothers' hearts in my community that gave me food. Kyk, as ek inloop by jou huis, dan vra ek, waar is die kos? Ek is nie skaam nie, ek is ook nie bang nie. I say straight up, where's the food? Because I know ons mense maak 'n dubbele pot kos. Was dit nie so nie? We don't just make a small pot of food, we make a massive pot of food. We make sure that everybody who happens to walk into our homes gets a plate of food. Am I right? You might think you're not a mother, but my darling, to somebody, you're showing them what love and compassion and kindness looks like. Trust me, you probably have a brother or a sister that you look after. Little do you know you're being the mother to that child. Am I right? So I want to pay attention to the special mothers we have here today. And I say they're special mothers because we have very special guests of honor here today. We got very special guests of honor here today. They are called other able-bodied people. But look at our something to say to you, man. What's normal? Kate, would you like a rose, darling? Let's smile on your face. Here you go. Enjoy, my darling. So I want to acknowledge every person in the space that shows love, that gives love, that shows compassion, because you are the classroom that is teaching the rest of the world what love looks like. And especially to our special needs people today. If we recognize that there are actually not other able bodies, you know what? To be able to understand this world and live successfully in this world, despite, I almost want to say, because you are unable. It means your brain may be done, my brain. Mark, I want to thank you for being other-bodied, as vast as words. Fabulous. Thank you very much, Edwards. Guys, I'm making a very specific point here today. I want to say thank you. Thank you to you for being the heart that shows kindness, compassion, caring, that shows somebody how to live that love. You are an embodiment of lived love, not only to your child, but to everybody in your community. You are the embodiment of that very lived love. How do you show up? Today I know you show up fully. Today I know that you show up with love. And on that note, I want you to look at that rose and smile a bit for yourself om te sê, DJ, die lekker ekke. Come on everybody, let's do a die lekker ekke. Because we cannot expect somebody else to celebrate us if we do not celebrate ourselves. So I want to encourage you. My ma is nie hier nie, maar ek het haar boots aan vandag. Lekker. Want ek sê elke dag my ma, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the love that you love. Sy was miskien nie daar nie, but you know what? She was chosen to give birth to me. That means she had the skill set to become a mother. So I want to encourage you, I want to inspire you. Say thank you to yourself for showing up for you. And on that note, thank you very much.
Powerful talk and the roses and everything else that you gave. Yes, we need to say thank you to our parents. And on that note, we're going to have a quick 10-minute break. And don't go away because I know I'm watching you. I know where the seats are, so if your seat is empty, you're in trouble. We're going to have an awesome bake-off, coming up.
Are you ready?
I'm a grandmother myself of Jesse, a grandson who has a spectrum of autism. And I stand here very, very proud today. Very, very proud today because I know that Sandy has come a long way in setting, come here Sandy, come here. Please give this amazing mom a warm round of applause. I know that Sandy has come a long way in setting up this foundation. I know her struggles like each and every parent who's sitting here today, who has a child, who is either fully autistic or even a slight spectrum of autism. It doesn't matter. I think that Sandy and the Nosh for Josh Foundation are very, very grateful to each and every one of you, just for the fact that you are present here today says a lot. So from my heart to all of you, from Sandy's to each and every one of you, thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless for what you are doing. So we're going to start with the cookies and the bake-off, and Sandy's going to explain to you how it all works.
Awesome, thank you so much, Jermaine. Joshua actually calls her maybe. So thank you so much.
Thank you, maybe.
Okay, while you are all standing, there is 22 tables and there is 7 workstations per table. I need you to get up for me and move to a table, please. Can we do that now? Thank you. So up for me, move to the table. There is 7 per table. I'm calling it workstations because we are moving into our kitchen, which we will soon have.
I'm sorry I'm late. I think there was some miscommunication on my side. But after hearing that lady's beautiful voice, I actually feel intimidated. But anyway, Charne, you have an amazing voice. So I'm going to do one song for you, and I hope you enjoy it. I think there's a lot of elderly people here. I'm sure everybody can relate to it. Even the youth, I'm sure they do. Fire away. The stars down from the sky. I want to live a day that never dies. I want to change the world only for you. All the impossible I want to do. Come on, can we see those hands in there? I want to hold you close under the rain. I want to kiss your lips and feel your pain. I know what's beautiful looking at you. In a world of lies, you are the truth. And baby, sing along. Every time you touch me, I become a hero. I'll make you safe no matter where you are, and bring you everything you ask for. Nothing is above me. I'm shining like a candle in the dark. When you tell me that you love me, I want to make you see just what I want. Show you the loneliness and what it does. You walked into my life, just suck my tears. Everything is easy now. I have you here, and baby, every time you touch me, I become a hero. I'll make you safe no matter where you are, and bring you everything you ask for. Nothing is above me. I'm shining like a candle in the dark. When you tell me that you love me, in the world without you, I will always hunger. All I need is your love to make me stronger. Every time you touch me, I'll become a hero. I'll make you safe no matter where you are, and bring you everything you ask for. Nothing is above me. I'm shining like a candle in the dark. When you tell me that you love me, you love me. When you tell me that you love me.
Good afternoon, everyone. Did you have fun? I'm not convinced. Did you have fun? I
I can't hear this side. Did you have fun? Okay. I would like to introduce one of the people who made today possible. Because part of some of the things you had to get today, it was through his office. He's a very short guy, but he does long things and fruitful things. He's the alderman, but I want to call him today, especially that he's my man. Alderman Grant Twigg. He's running one of these programs, but I'm going to hand over to him to talk. He's our guest speaker, but because of his commitment of today, he went to more than 2-3 events for the day. Alderman, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. When I came in here, I saw everybody having such a lot of fun. I missed out on most of it today. All of it. I missed out on all of it. But like Nomfundo said, one of the things that we're trying to do within the city is to look at various sectors within the city and how we can support. And I'm very glad that we could be part of this event. But it's also for us to see how we can continue making sure that these kind of events continue, that we look at the sector and see how we can assist even further. I'm also glad that the councillor has made this available so that we can actually spread this to the rest of Cape Town. Sometimes we all, as a city and as community leaders, we always just think that the city needs to look at the lights and we need to look at the streets and we need to look at the potholes. But there's so much more that we must look into. And this sector is one of those, to see how we can assist the vulnerable in making sure that they feel part of the city. This event is one of those events, and I spoke to the mom of just to say how we can, as a city, look at the needs and how we can supply and assist with the resources that is required with our kids in making sure that they can also have fun. And from our side, that is definitely one of the things that we will be doing. I am meeting with the organization so that we actually just sit and plan more of these. And to the parents, I want to say thank you very much for all the support that you're giving. It is also now time for us as a city to see how we can support you in making sure our kids feel part of Cape Town. When we say Cape Town is one of the best cities in the world, it means all of the residents of Cape Town must feel that. And this is one of these events that we would want to continue supporting moving forward. We might have it in different ways and in different areas, but I can commit myself saying that this is one of the things that we will be continue doing moving forward. Thank you very much, and I must also say thank you because I came late, but I got my cookies. Thank you very much.
And I hope you all enjoyed, the bake-off. Chef Sipho and Chef Charmaine, we really appreciate you. Jacqueline, with all the interactive session, I can see her now, on parenting, thank you. Lottering, we really thank you for what you're doing. And the good thing, as well is, this is not just about today. We want to see you at the next event. This is not a one-off. We need to keep sharing stories and hearing everybody's story. I saw a young man at the back, I don't know whether he's still here. He wrote a book on coming into the light. So he's an author, he's on the wheelchair. His name is Razano. He's selling the book for $120. I think he's still here with his mom somewhere. So if you want to support them as well. Then our first Mrs. Wheelchair, sportwoman for basketball, shot put. Please, can we just recognize you as well? Thank you. for coming to support today's event. Well done, and we look forward to hearing your story as well at a future event. Okay guys, welcome to Impact Africa, and this is Mama K, and we have an event that we're supporting today, which is the event by Be My Voice. You remember we've been talking about autism, and today we're having the Youth Day at Athlone, and we've got a young man here who is going to, I know, very young for Youth Day and Youth Month. Tell us, what's your name, sir, and how are you involved with today's event?
Good morning, my name is Rashid Adams, and I'm the Ward Councillor of the Athlone area where we are currently hosting the event. So this hall is within Ward 49, and we're extremely excited and extremely proud that they've chosen one of our facilities to host us in this phenomenal event.
What does the Youth Day or Youth Month, what does it mean to you and your people
in
the ward?
Youth to me is extremely important. I'm very passionate about the development of youth. So it's important that we utilize a day like today as a means to create a platform for our children to actually grow and develop even further. We have a strong political history and we have a strong cultural history alongside with us, which we must not ever forget. The sacrifices that were made by so many must not be forgotten, but that should be the reason as to why we should encourage our young people to be out there, to go out and basically do things so that they can improve their lives. The facility that we are currently standing in.
I was just going to ask you about it. It's beautiful. I just love it.
Yes.
I've never been inside, so for me, I've passed it before, but I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
The facility is called the Dulcie September Civic Centre. And why that is important is Dulcie September was a political activist who lived just across the road here in the Gleamore area, literally 2 minutes walk from here.
Right.
She was a resident of the area. She was a political activist, as I said. She was also a fighter for human rights. And because of conditions way back when she was young in the 60s, she was banished out of our country. She went into exile and she moved to France. In the mid-80s, after doing extensive work for this country in fighting for the freedom and the liberation of our peoples, she was assassinated. And we are honoring her, we have honored her by calling this facility after her. However, I think it is so important for us to acknowledge that because it's such an appropriate venue for an appropriate event, you know, and are named after an appropriate person. So yes, I'm very excited about this, and we're going to use this as an opportunity in all factors to really get our message across.
Awesome. I can't wait. We're going to come back to interview you more after the event or during the event.
Yes.
So I hope you welcome us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for being
God bless.
Right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Hey, Madam Jacqueline, how are you this morning? You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you, as do you, like the pure queen that you are.
So tell us about yourself and how you're involved in today's event.
Okay, so I've been a volunteer in community development for 40 years. I was 11 when I started.
Wow.
And my interest in Josh for Nosh and Sandy Picure's event is the fact that it's about mental health. It's an unspoken about topic, and yet COVID has shown us that it is necessary for us to manage ourselves and our mental well-being. So I've always been excited about people who think differently. And I think today we're celebrating those people. We're celebrating the parents that care, the people that care for our children, and we're celebrating the children and their genius. So that's what's exciting about it.
Awesome.
That's how come I'm here.
Awesome. So what should we expect from you today?
So I'm going to do a brief inspirational chat just to inspire and thank the parents and the carers for actually doing what they do.
Because most of the time they don't get that.
They don't get acknowledged.
Even know, yes.
No, not at all. And they're the ones though that actually care for our children in the bigger scheme of things and have the patience and the compassion and the kindness. So in my personal and professional capacity, I'm a transformational life coach. I focus on addiction, connection and trauma.
Awesome.
And so, you know, having a child in your family who's other abled, and I say other abled because that's really all it is. They're actually genius. Causes a particular dynamic in the home, and understanding that and managing that is what I do in a nutshell.
Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. I'm sure we're going to to ask you more about how Jacqueline and what else you do, because I know you present, you do other things as well on the radio.
Yes, I
so
do.
Can't wait.
Excellent. Thank you very much
day.
for having me. You too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, I've got with me my dear sister, new sister that I've met today, Megan from Connect 123. Tell us about yourself and how you're involved with today's program.
Of course. I am a director of Child Life back in New York City in the United States, and we are with the Connect 123 program, which places students from around the world in various countries to have opportunities for practicums and internships in the field of their choice that is always connected to serving the public.
Awesome. So today, I think you came with 15 students?
Yes, today we came through the Cancer organization. We've come today to visit with these children, and we'll be providing play opportunities for the kids while they're here enjoying the day.
Also, so the students that came, where are they from in America?
They're from all over America. They're from
Okay.
Alabama and Texas and New York and all over.
And what age range are they?
They're mostly in their 20s, and most of them are in their graduate or undergraduate program. They're studying to be child life specialists, working with children in the hospital using play and art and music to help them understand their hospital experience. So it's great for them to have opportunities to work with special needs children because we see them in the hospital as well. They need to learn how to use play to help them understand what's happening.
And how long have you been in Cape Town?
This is my 5th trip to Cape Town.
Okay.
Cape Town has become my second home.
It's beautiful, huh?
Yes, and
So you're from New York?
I'm from New York, yes. And the program here is a month long. We'll be rotating different students through each month, all through September.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Megan.
Thank you
and we
so
wish
much.
you all the best. We might come back to have more chat with you.
Absolutely, we're happy to be here.
Have
Thank
a good
you for
day.
having us.
Thank you. So, right, we've got Mark Lottering. I'm sure a lot of you know him in South Africa, all over the world, a comedian, world renowned. Tell us, Mark, why are you here today?
I'm here to meet you.
Oh, no, come on, Mark.
I got an email telling me a little bit about Josh. And I believe that our lives get so busy, and sometimes it takes one person just to send you an email so you can just refocus. We all think we know about autism, but we seldom make the time because everybody's lives just get so full. So I like to make time for things that I know little about, to find out more about issues that I know little about, and to meet real people who are different, because I'm different and I celebrate difference.
Yeah.
So I was excited to read about Josh and what his family does to raise awareness for autism, and that's why.
And what does they mean for your Youth Month as we celebrate it?
Sure, Youth Day for me, every year I look in the mirror and I see it's Youth Day and I go, wow, Mark, you still look good.
And you still do. I love that grey over there, by the way.
No, for me, we have conflicted feelings in South Africa right now. I think we would have liked to have left the youth a better place from where we come from, and after everything that we've been through. And I would have liked to be in the position today to talk to you, to celebrate our young South Africans, to say that we all have access to wonderful education and wonderful schools that are in a great condition. But we're not yet there, unfortunately. So I think we keep pushing, and my job as an older youth is to...
I'm a youth, trust me. The age is in the mind.
I think our jobs are we cannot give up. Our young people are here, and we have to still do what we can and get associated with projects, still, uplifting the youth. And now it's not anymore about education, it's now about taking them away from the temptation of gangsterism, the big temptation of tick, because so many are addicted to it. And where government is not stepping in, it is still my job and your job to see where we still can help. And there are so many things that we need to do and that we can do. So that's what I think about on Youth Day, and it's also a bit of a day where you strategize a little bit, look back on what you haven't done and what you still need to do.
Now, I'm just going to close by saying, do you have any message for young comedians or artists who are coming up, especially with what COVID has done now, and you using comedy, to basically, I mean, you earn your living from it, but
Yes.
using it as a way to impact people's lives. Do you have any message for any young comedian out there, or any mother who might be struggling with a child with special needs? So if you just say any special message, to them.
My special message to young comedians out there, not just young comedians, anybody who's watching us and listening, if you think that you are funny and you've got a funny story to tell and you can make your money out of being funny, I want to say, keep going at it. The important thing for me has always been about telling the truth. And living in South Africa, we go through so much. South Africans love to laugh. They also love the truth. So keep writing, always be true to yourself, and make sure that you get out there where people can hear what you have to say. If it can happen for me and for so many other South Africans, it can happen for you as well.
Thank you so much, Mark Lottering, and enjoy the rest of the day.
I will, thank you.
Okay, we've got Chef Charmaine here with us, who is one of the supporters for the event, and she was a contestant on MasterChef. So Chef Charmaine, tell us, how has today been for you?
Today was very enlightening. I loved the energy from the kids, and even you, I love the energy. It was really a nice surprise to see. It's my first event, so I'm really aware to what's happening now, and I can spread the word, and let more people know about Josh.
And tell us about your little business. I said little, it's not little, but it's big, little.
Yes, it's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah.
Tell us about your journey and that business.
Yeah, the journey was very quick and crazy. So I think my business, it was a matter of foresight of seeing, okay, I can do something. There's a need for a food business in the pandemic. So it was a crazy ideas. And even myself, to think where I am, if you asked me last year, to think I'll be here now, it's wild. It was just like wild. But I think also I was pushing barriers and trying to grow very quickly and using all the opportunities I had. So which means that if it matters, like if you see, for example, a competition or an ad on KFM, Booze Bus, apply. Maybe they'll phone you, maybe they won't. But I did, and they phoned me.
So take a step of faith.
Yes, exactly. So and then I grew the business, and I'm still growing. So I tried.
What's the name of your business?
Shams Kitchen.
Shams Kitchen, and what do you serve there?
So what I did is, when I started the business, it was trying to use my heritage of Indian food. So most of my dishes are Durban inspired dishes.
Okay.
And there's sometimes a little twist or something creative.
Right. So where can we find you?
You can find me at the cruise terminal, Makers Landing, which is a big food community. So there's other stalls you can do. You can do it as like a little bite here and there, and you can try different things out. And I also started a frozen line, frozen meals.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. So frozen meals, you can pick it up there. I just got listed in Spa in Sea Point.
Well done.
Yeah.
Good for you. We will get your contact details, which we'll share at the end of the. Thank you. For supporting Be My Voice, Not for Josh campaign. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got here with me ex-mayor Dan Plato, who is supporting this wonderful initiative today. So tell us, how has today been for you, and why did you decide to come?
Well, it's a wonderful event. It is Youth Day today, and I know Sandy Pakir for a very long time. Issues with JOS. When I was mayor, I support the JOS for North initiative. And I think it's a very important initiative because many children find them in a similar position. Parents struggling, don't know what to do, where to get the necessary help from, and it is for us as government as far as possible to assist where we can. But also with the private issues, bringing in Blue Ribbon as a private business, bringing in other entities with their assistance. Government will never be able to do it alone, but it's important for government to showcase that we are in support what private people are also doing in helping this kind of issue.
And so what you're saying is it's important to collaborate, the government, the businesses, the NGOs, the civil society.
Very important.
We all have to find ways, to
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you are so right.
So Youth Day, Youth Month, we celebrate it annually, and yet we have a big unemployment still in South Africa. What do you think could be some of the solutions, to it? whether it's been done or not. I'm just asking.
You look, as I've said in my speech, on my way to this event, over the radio stations, it is Youth Day, it is the issues around the youth, it is unemployment up to 40% in South Africa. And it means nearly half of the youth across the country is unemployed, destitute. They end up with gangsters, they end up with all the social issues, drugs and you name it, teenage pregnancies and so on. And that is why it was so amazing when I visited the country Brazil, and to learn that out of a population of 215 million people, that the unemployment figure is less than 15%, it's about 12.5%. Now,
what are they doing?
What are they doing? And we, with a population of about, I think, in the region of 61 million people, they are obviously doing something right. We can learn some lessons from them. But also, looking at the literacy figure, the educational figure of the Brazil people, is also well over 80%. Again, they are doing something right. And that is why poverty levels in that country is not so severe than here in South Africa. So at the end of the day, my message this morning to the youth is, do one thing at a time and do it well. And that is get your education, study your heart out, get your matric. You cannot want to find a proper job with a good salary in South Africa without something behind your name, like a diploma or a degree and that sort of thing. With a diploma and a degree, you could go and apply for a job across the world. But if you don't even have matric, you have almost nothing in life. And people need to begin to realize that, our youth need to begin to realize that they to want to get to something good in life, you need to take certain steps, you need to make certain decisions, and you need to see your decisions carrying through for you to reach to your end result in life. And then the rest will fall into place. Then the world will open for you and doors will open for you if you do carry with you some sort of educational qualifications.
Thank you so much, Ex-Mayor Dan Plato. We look forward to more of your support and the government to initiatives like this, and how the government and the people and the civil society and the businesses can work together in partnership. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All of the best.
Thank you. Now I've got Chef Siphokazi, who has really inspired me today from hearing a story, and we want to hear some of that. So, Chef Sipho, tell us, just a snippet of your life journey, Master Chef, whatever, your previous life before that.
I grew up back in the rural areas in the Eastern Cape. I was raised by my mother with the help of my grandmother. And, luckily for me, I never went to bed without food because, African women, they can do things, So my mother and my grandmother, they taught me how to cook at an early age. But again, unfortunately, I was a naughty girl.
I can't believe you are not a girl. No, okay. Keep talking, keep sharing.
I was a naughty girl. I got pregnant at the age of 19, so I had no choice but to leave my son with my mother. He was only 1 month old, to look for a job. Then I came to Cape Town to look for a job. Remember, I grew up in the rural areas and I couldn't speak any English.
Wow. You couldn't speak English?
No.
And look at you now. Okay.
So, luckily for me, the only job I could have here in Cape Town was being a domestic worker. Because of not being educated, I only passed my standard 10.
Right.
So, and I said, you know what? This is the job for me. I'm here in Cape Town to work for my son. But again, back in my mind, I had that thing that says, okay, this is not I want to do for the rest of my life. Yes, I want to be something. I want to be like other people. I want to be like my friends who are teachers, who are doctors, who are lawyers. So this is not for me. This is not for me. This is a stepping stone for me. I worked for the sweetest lady ever, you know. And she's the one who helped me through my journey. With all the MasterChef journey, and I said to her, you know what, I love cooking, I want to enter this program, MasterChef, you know, as you can see that I've cooked for you for years, will you help me? And she said, okay, if it's really what you want, I will help you, and she helped me up until the end.
Wow.
You know.
So she believed in you, and she worked the journey with you.
Yes. Yeah, she believed in me.
Okay,
yes.
and how has it been for you being on MasterChef?
Being on MasterChef, I'm not gonna lie, it was not easy. First of all, like I said, at some stage you don't believe in yourself because you are there with people who have traveled the world. With people who have eaten all different kinds of food. I'm there as a domestic worker, as a young girl from the rural areas who've eaten just traditional food. I'm not used to all these fancy foods, all these fancy culinary terms they are used to. But again, I said, you know, this is me. Take me as I am. I'm here. I'm going to do what I know best to cook my traditional food and put it to the next level. That's what I did.
Well done. Thank you for sharing a snippet of your journey. Now I want to ask you to just give any message to anyone out there.
To everyone out there, I would say everything is possible. Whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve in life. But again, you can't do it on your own. You have to ask for help. I've asked for help from people. That's why I'm here. I'm here because of other people. I swallowed my pride and I said, here I am. This is what I want to do. I want to be something, so ask for help. And one more thing, believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. That's my message.
Thank you so much, Chef Sipho. We wish you all the best for the future. And thank you for supporting the Nosh for Josh Be My Voice campaign. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, ma'am.
Okay, so I've got a young lady here who we just met today, but there's a lot she's doing in the community and for her. Tell us about yourself first. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Nogitila Yonke, well known as Noni. I'm originally from Delft, Leiden. Personally, I study at the moment management assistant, but I'm also a student athlete who plays professionally sport. I do two sporting courses, which is wheelchair basketball and athletics.
And you've won a lot of awards as well.
Yes.
Okay, share with us some of those awards.
So my first award started in 2018, where I was a finalist for school sportswoman of the year, and in that same year I got school sportswoman of the year. 2019 school sportswoman of the year.
Okay.
2020-21 I became sportswoman of the year, not school sports.
Wow, sportswoman of the year. So how did you get into sport?
It started grade 8 when I grew up in a very emotional and physically abusive home growing up. So sports was a method where my psychologist and my natural science teacher put me in to get all my frustration out since it's a technical sport. So sports has helped me to grow mentally and physically, and also to overcome a lot of challenges growing up as someone who was born with a disability.
So you were born with a disability. And which form of disability is
I
it?
was born with spina bifida.
Okay. So how is that for you? Because if you're born with it, it's not something you're going to wake up and say, oh yeah, I'm not going to do this, or I can't do. How has life been for you as a young person?
Life has been amazing, even if there were challenges too with it. But what I can say, I thank my disability because it has made me where I am today. And it has made me realize that I'm special, unique, and different compared to other people. So it has helped me grow stronger. It has helped me to stand out and inspire others who don't even have disabilities. That for me, it was personally weird, the fact that I can inspire people who don't have disabilities.
So like with today's events, what do you think?
Today's event was amazing. It's the first time I came to this event, and I must say I would definitely attend any type of events like these, because this is something I've been talking about constantly, bringing awareness of people with different disabilities. And not only because of that, it's because what people don't realize, there's so much someone with a disability can do. Sometimes, yes, they can't physically do something because they're physically challenged, but their mindsets are so broad. It's amazing. It's just so good.
I believe you, and that's what a program like this is hopefully helping to do, to say we're here. I was watching the young lady who was singing so powerfully, Charmaine on the wheelchair, and that was just, I'm hearing you doing professional sport, because that's what you said you're doing. So you're doing basketball, athletics. Wow, that is just so impressive, and definitely we're going to be coming back to hear more of your story. So today is about Youth Day. How is that for you as a young person? And some of what you've said, you know, with your growing up, the background, the environment you grew up in, how is that for you, and how have you managed to navigate, you know, all the challenges, you know?
For me as a youth, it took me to realize that this world depends on a youth like me. Especially with the changes happening now, people might not realize, but we're going into a world where everything is going to be digital. And the reason why it's digital is because like youth like me, who invent things, who have a broad mindset of thinking outside of what is normal and things abnormal. And for me as a youth personally, I feel like I would forever want to be young.
Join me, don't worry. I'm the same. I'm forever young. My children keep reminding me, they're young adults now, and they keep reminding me, no, you think you're, and I'm like, who says? I'm still young. I'm forever young. So I'm going to finish now by just asking you to just say a few words, you know, to anyone out there. Just words of encouragement, you know, either people with disability or not, whatever it is. If you could just say a few words of encouragement to them.
Well, my few words of encouragement are, if you can't see it, that's a good sign, because only the great minds get to see what is beyond what is normal. And if you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't crawl, then go on your stomach, do something. Don't just stand still and give up and be like, this is it, because it's never it. Your darkest moments are the times that you will actually realize of how much greatness you are able to become. So, share the greatness with the rest of the world.
I like that. Share the greatness with the rest of the world. Thank you. I salute you. All the very best for the future. God bless you. Okay, bye-bye. So I've got another special VVIP. You know, everybody that has attended this event has been VVIP. Please introduce yourself and, you know, why you're here.
Commander Anthony Glenn von Zyl. I'm the Executive Officer of the South African Sea Cadets nationally. I'm also the Marketing Manager and the Area Officer for the Cape Western region.
Okay.
So
what do you do with the Sea Cadet? What's it about? And I love the outfit, by the way.
Well, the Navy allows us to wear a uniform which is similar to theirs, but we're an NPO and an NGO, a youth organization that is involved in giving the youth maritime and nautical training.
Right.
A lot of discipline. They learn how to make knots, seamanship. They learn how to sail, to drill, march, to cook, to fix things, a bit of engineering, communications, etc. And we take in youth from the age of 13 to 19 years old.
Wow.
No, 17 years
17
old.
years
so
old.
Basically high school years.
And I saw your team, you know, how they've been helping, supported, well-disciplined, and doing a lot in there. How has today's event been for you, which is about raising awareness on autism and other disabilities?
So firstly to say thank you for the acknowledgement for the cadets on duty today. I'm very proud of them, as will be their commanding officer. We have had students or pupils with special needs with us, cadets with special needs, not today, but we have at the unit previously. So there is an awareness. We've been here to support the Nosh for Josh, Josh and his mom, Sandy, in the event and just add a little bit of glitz and glamour and something different.
Which you did, I must say. Seeing the cadets on the stage with the group when they were dancing, I was just like, wow, this is beautiful. And thank you, for all you're doing and what you're doing for our young ones. And what I'm going to ask you in closing, or if you can share a few words of encouragement for our young people there. Bye-bye, dear.
So, for the youth, the advice I give, it boils down to respect and discipline, and and integrity. Those are some of the words and the values that we teach the cadets to live by. We call it a compass of life, and it's those values that we hold dear and that we expect them to practice. And what you've seen them doing today is exactly that. So I'm very proud of them, and that they, as young people, have stood up, provided a service, done something different, participated and had fun.
And we'll be back. I'm going to take your details now so that we can find out more and even see them, about what you're about, because you're impacting lives positively.
We'd love you to come and visit us at the unit, and you'll see 150 of them doing their thing, being put through their paces, and you'll see the commitment of the adults as well, because without the adults, we can't do this.
Thank you so much, Commander.
Pleasure.
Really, really appreciate it. Have a good day. God bless you.
To you too.
Thank you.
Nkoskaku.
Bye, Danke. What a day it has been today. It has been so packed full of activities. I feel so blessed. Nosh for Josh keeps raising the bar, and I've got with me the founder, co-director, mom, auntie, coach, I don't even know what to call her, counselor, and everything else now. Just to share with us, how you feel about today.
Wow, today was absolutely amazing. When I went on stage and looking at the hall filled up with caregivers and special needs children, when you have that vision and becomes reality, and I always say the vision and reality, it's the ideas in the head, and when it makes it happen, it just happens. So I am extremely, happy and blessed and thankful for all the donors and the partners, for you coming out in your time, and the speakers, the media. What more can I say?
So what next for Nosh for Josh?
What's next?
I know you've been talking about the kitchen, that you need the kitchen, and I think we've been drumming it up. But what next? What next?
Yes. Been talking to a few partners and also potential donors, and I know the kitchen is the need, and I know the premises is the need, and we might have a potential food truck in the line to actually not be a food truck but a bake truck, to actually go around to the different areas and do our workshops, and eventually line up with other trucks as well and do the cookies with them. And I mean, employment that's what we want. I want that stigma of disability to stop and say, you know what, there is employment for them. And what we're doing with our cookies is amazing. I think Joshua is now very tired today. He was like, I can't do this anymore.
How many cookies did you make for today?
We baked 2,500 cookies and 500 cupcakes. That is like how many eggs, how many flour and everything. And you become tired, like I was saying, I'm emotionally drained, but a happy drained.
Yeah.
I mean, I was crying in between, but it's a happy tears. Like, I pulled this off and I can do it. So I just want to motivate, and I want to continue by saying there's so much hope out there, and support and help and say we are here for you. That is the key. And I would like to say, we always end off,
be my voice. Wow, what an amazing day it has been today. I feel so blessed and honored, and I hope you've learned, the speakers, the people, the children, the bake-off, the supporters, the volunteers. I don't want to mention names because I'll probably forget, and I've just had a blessed awesome time. So if you want to support Nosh for Josh, we'll be sharing the details at the end. You've heard from Sandy, the founder and director, and we will share the details, like I said, and I hope you've learned one or two things, today. So next time, stay safe, stay blessed, Love you all. Remember, God is love.
So